Yoway, I'm Peter Ridgway. I'm sitting in the Gurrung Nation here today. Why I'm sitting here today, while I'm sitting here today, I'd like to honour the ancestors who have fought hard for the last 200 or so years to give us a life today. You know, we're sitting here in this country that has had much warfare practised upon it, and it's just an honour to sit here and know that why we are alive is because of their efforts. Now, what my ancestors and our ancestors didn't know is the legal ramifications of being sovereigns on our own land. Why we're sitting here today and talking about sovereignty is to show the people that once you proclaim your continuing sovereignty, because we already have sovereignty, once you proclaim your continuing sovereignty, we're using a channel that sovereigns only use. And this is the education that was denied our ancestors. In the case of the Act of War, I'd like to share with you now today about this very act that's on this piece of paper in front of me. It was an order that was given by Governor King to Sir Charles Mackenzie at the time, who became the boss of the settlement of Newcastle, which is Mullumbimba within the Gurrung lands. I'd like to share that with you now. You are therefore hereby required and directed to take upon you the charge and command of the said settlement, and I do hereby charge you and command all of His Majesty's subjects that may be within our command to obey your directions, as you may from time to time receive from me, and any other of your superior officers, to the rules and discipline of war, for this shall be your authority, my emphasis in bold, pertaining to the rules and discipline of war. The point is, we're the ones who have the sovereignty here. So what I'm seeing, what we're doing here in this generation, in this country, is using our sovereign rights, using our natural rights, and using it through, natural law. And that's how sovereigns operate. They don't operate in civil rights. Civil rights is given by government. And at this point, here, in this time, in this present moment, we're not British subjects. So we're not subject to the laws that have come to dominate our lives. They simply have no jurisdiction.
G'day to you all. My name's Dari Darabunjal. I've also given another name, I suppose, by the English. When they come to this country, they made us they made our parents not take out birth certificates to register us in their corporation. The name they give me there was Arthur Ridgway. But for all intention and purposes, my name is Dari Darabunjal, and I am a Katung man, and I swore allegiance to my country the day I was born, but I also signed a declaration of continuing sovereignty on the 30th of March 2008. It's very pertinent for me to tell you that I was born a sovereign and all my ancestors were born sovereigns. We have never ceded our rights in this land. We have never acquiesced anything to any purported government or realm on the face of this earth, or to our neighbours in our own country. We didn't acquiesce. But what I want to do with you is walk you through a little timeline on what's actually happened in this country. I've got a bit of a paper here. I'm going to read from it in short parts. It's a short, concise, really reference to the facts that are a truthful account of sovereignty on and over the continent, what is now called Australia. In 1701, the UK Parliament passes a Settlement Act, 1701 UK, which limits the monarch's capacity of that of a monarch in Parliament. This means that the monarch is merely a public servant with no lawful right to operate over or outside the law. Very important. In 1770, Captain Cook discovered Australia. I was kind of wondering how we lost it, because I don't think we ever lost it. It was always here. So I don't see how anyone can discover our lands if we was on it since the beginning of time. In 1788 to 1900, various British subjects of various capacities, from criminal to officers acting under instructions from the Admiral of the UK, occupy certain areas in Australia without the consent of the originally sovereign owners. In 1836, on February, 1836, letters patent established the province of South Australia. And these letters patent were created by King William IV and included text stating, and this is very important, provided always that nothing in those our letters patent contain shall affect or to be constructed to affect the rights of any Aboriginal native of the said province of the actual occupation or enjoyment of their own persons or in the persons of their descendants of any lands therein now actually occupied or enjoyed by such natives by writ of the Privy Seal. Now when you look at that statement says one thing. That statement says, do not interfere with the sovereign rights of the Aborigine people whose country you are settling in. Do not interfere with their rights on their lands, their rights to live the way they want to live on their lands, or do not hinder or obstruct their sovereignty in any way, shape or form. This was their king telling them that. But as we know, history set a rather different course, because they didn't take notice to what they were told to do under sovereign orders of their own king. Yet they went with what their Admiralty thought should occur, which was an illegal, dishonest and criminal act committed on our people.